Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Giant Take podcast YouTube channel video. We've got some interesting news today. So Dave Gettleman has officially retired, and it seems as if Joe Judge will be sticking around for another season. We got no official word on that, just some sources, just some beliefs, some quotes from the players. But besides that, not much to say. As I tweeted out earlier, John Mara is really hiding behind the players and really is just not making any decisions right now. So it's certainly not a fun time to be a Giants fan. We heard Kevin Abrams is going to be interviewed, which we all expected, but certainly not good right now. On Dave Gettleman's retirement and the search for a new GM candidate, John Mara and Steve Tisch both made statements. I'll read them here. So John Mara said, "This will be a comprehensive search for our next general manager." Obviously in 2018, not so much so. "We are looking for a person who demonstrates exceptional leadership and communication abilities, somebody who will oversee all aspects of our football operations, including player personnel, college scouting, and coaching." This leads me to think, could it be that he's possibly waiting for the GM to make the decision and he's not actually going to force Joe Judge on the GM? We'll have to wait and see. Doesn't seem very like him, considering what we've seen in the past, but hey, who knows? And Steve Tisch says, "It is an understatement to say John and I are disappointed by the lack of success we have had on the field. We are united in commitment to find a general manager who will provide the direction necessary for us to achieve the on-field performance and results we all expect." I don't even know why Steve Tisch is making a statement. It's not like he's involved whatsoever, which I guess is kind of a good thing for an owner. But John Mara doesn't agree. This morning, we were kind of getting mixed messages. Dan Duggan originally came out this morning saying that Joe Judge was meeting with Mara and leadership for about 2 hours or so, but then it turned out that he was actually just meeting with the players. There was kind of confusion about what was going on in the building. Last night, we heard that possibly from Jake Glazer that players were starting to turn against him in the locker room. There was a belief among people in the organization that Joe Judge was going to be gone. It turned out not to be true, at least so far. And it's tough to, kind of have all your expectations, all your hopes high, and then it all just came back down to earth. And we have some quotes from some of the players, which was interesting here because John Mara, instead of coming out himself, besides making this, cookie cutter statement that he always does every year, why is he not coming out ahead of this? He's throwing his players in front with no decision. They don't know what's going on. And Saquon Barkley, they come out. I have a quote here from Jordan Ronan. "Giants players have said that Joe Judge didn't announce he's returning next season. He just went and held a quote unquote regular team meeting and talked about next season. Same thing as it was yesterday," Saquon Barkley said of what he thought about the coaching situation. Dexter Lawrence, when he was asked if Joe Judge will still be the coach, he said, "That's what I believe. Yes." Also based on the fact that there was just a regular team meeting today. So who knows what's going on? Let's just say this. John Mara, if keeping Joe Judge, and let's say he is forcing Joe Judge on the next general manager, if he does that, that limits our possibilities in finding the best GM candidate possible. Why he would do that, I don't know. There's been rumors that, he doesn't want to seem like an organization that just fires coaches after 2 years, that has no patience, etc. But it's his fault from the beginning that from not firing Gettleman when we fired Shermer, which we should have done back a couple years ago. And instead, now we have GMs and coaches not on the same timeline. And it's especially bad when you have a coach who's still around and then an incoming GM spot and a coach that's really unpopular throughout most people. And that's really the big problem. I don't know what Mara's going to do. It's going to be an interesting few days. Obviously, the interviews are going to start soon. There's John Dorsey. Some other candidates have, come out. Is Louis Riddick going to be interviewed? Who knows? Probably. It's just extremely frustrating to see that John Mara doesn't see what the rest of everyone else sees, which is that Joe Judge is just not fit for this Giants coaching job. I think he'd make a good college coach, maybe even a great college coach, or, a great special teams coordinator like he was for years in New England. But it's just he's not working out with this team. Dave Gettleman, he's made countless mistakes. We'll probably talk about them for years to come because they will affect us for years to come. Drafting Saquon Barkley number 2 overall, selecting Daniel Jones, signing Leonard Williams to a long-term deal, signing Kenny Golladay, signing Nate Solder. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's good that he's gone. At least I think what Mara thought, he's like, hey, I give the fans that Gettleman's gone, and they give him the honor of retiring, which I guess, whatever. It's fine. I know some people are infuriated by that. Like, hey, well, Jerry Reese didn't get that, Tom Coughlin didn't get that respect. I get it. I understand. I'm not too peeved off about that. It's this lack of proper communication from ownership about what Joe Judge is going to be, what his role is going to be. And I'm sure this is frustrating for Joe Judge too, right? He's kind of like, what the hell is going on? Do I have my job? Do I not? Is my fate just hanging whoever gives the best interview for GM and they decide? This is all unclear. And I think some Giants fans are overreacting that Judge is going to stay 100%, which I don't think this is the case. I think it's likely he stays, but I do think if a GM candidate comes in and blows Mara away and he's like, yeah, but we need to get rid of Judge, I think Mara would be willing to pull the trigger. I don't think it's a done deal, but it's close. I think he's going to try to force Judge on a new GM, and that's really the big problem here. And that's why this team, it's not progressing. This is why we've been one of the worst franchises over the past 5 years. This is why we have the worst record in the league over the past 5 years with the Jets. Since when did you compare the Giants with the Jets? The Jets have always been a train wreck. The Giants have always been seen as this classy, solid organization. And it's just really, it's really crazy how this is all boiling down. And, we're seeing other coaches, other GMs getting fired. We saw Vic Fangio. We saw Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace this morning for the Bears. We saw Mike Zimmer and their GM. We saw even Brian Flores get fired, which is crazy, even though that wasn't really to do with performance on the field. It's just infuriating seeing other teams make changes that are necessary for their teams, and then the Giants just kind of staying still and allowing Gettleman to retire, Judge to just kind of sit around and just kind of keep everything in the status quo. And it's infuriating, and I totally understand that. We'll have another episode out tomorrow after the John Mara press conference, whatever the hell is going to happen there. Who knows? And we'll talk about all that and more. And hopefully we have some more news on Joe Judge and possible GM candidates as well. Make sure to subscribe, give us a like, comment, and go follow us on Twitter at The Giant Take Pod, on all socials at The Giant Take Pod. And yeah, I think that's about it. And we'll see everyone next time with another Giant Take video. And let's hope this organization turns it around.